Flying Tiger Whisper here with a review of some additional hardware I purchased for my boat that I might recommend to you. I'm going to start back here with replacing this shackle that takes the main sheet block and connects it to the Traveler. I replaced it with a 51mm Lumar snap shackle. Now, I measured this, and this is 50mm, but you see this little metal piece here? I had to crimp it in to get it to fit in there. If I could find something that was like 53mm across, that would have been perfect. It turned out that I had to crimp that down and really work at it to get it to go in. I'll never have to change it again, and it does work, but if you could find one that was 55mm, I know Lumar makes one that's 60mm, that'd be a little bit bigger, but that would work, the 60mm one. Anyway, it's really slick. You just put this through here. Well, I wonder if I could even do it. No, I probably can't do it one-handed. I'll have to put, now, anyway, you get the idea. I'd snap that in there. So that's one. Next piece is up here. I replaced that nut and bolt, and this one you just got to do, because this is so much slicker just to push the button and slide that in. The piece I got here, I'll have to put it in the notes below where I got it. Initially I got a piece from Car Lane, and the first time I pushed that button in, it stayed stuck. So I would not recommend getting one from Car Lane. I have to look up where I got this guy. This one is even better than the Car Lane one, because the Car Lane one was 20mm across. This one's only 15mm across. I probably wouldn't get one that was 10. I don't think that would do it if it was only 1 centimeter. It might. You could try it, but I know 15 works. There's a little play here, but that does not matter when you're hooking up the boom. But this is really nice. It has a little tie in here. I don't think I'm going to tie it in because I don't like the idea of that extra string around here. But that's something that you could do if you're worried about losing this piece. The only time you're going to take the boom on and off is on shore, so I'm not really worried if I do happen to drop that. I'll just fish around in the water if it should go into the water. The next piece I recommend was found by Martin Langhoff, and it's so fantastic. It's this Ronstan shock block here. There's two sizes of the Sheaveless shock block. You want the smaller size, and it is just ideal for this particular situation. It enables you to maintain your sacrificial halyard for the jib all the time. You just leave it on all the time. You never take it off. You're never going to lose it. You're never going to have to drop your mast. I refer you to Martin's video because I can't do a better job than he did. But boy, I'm really happy that he found that solution. Very clever, ingenious. Let's go up to the front of the boat here. Okay, so up here I've got a snap shackle for the head of my spinnaker, and this guy has worked out really well for me. You might just be willing to tie your knot. I don't know. I take up and put down my boat multiple times in a day when I am sailing, so it's nice to just be able to simplify things. For the spinnaker, you might not need to do that if you're leaving it in your in the snuffer sock here, but if you don't, it might save you a little bit of time. That's optional. Here I've got another optional one. I have this, it might be hard to see, but it's a little titanium carabiner here, and I use it on the tack of the spinnaker. And you know, if you're worried about that flying off and hitting you in the face, you cinch down your tack line here, and it's right here. When I take down my jib, I detach my carabiner here and just reattach it to this line and cinch it tight, and it ends up right here. It's nice because when I go to set up my spinnaker, I don't have to run this rope over everything through here again and tie it off. It's already nice and tight right here, so I really like that piece. Now this next piece is another one that I really recommend. It's the Ronstan Tack Bail snap shackle. You can get the smallest one they make, but the Tack Bail has this part right here that is a bolt you can screw through, and it's beautiful for this pulley. Put this pulley on right here, it swivels, it stays put really nicely. I haven't had any problems with it, and it's so elegant that you just pull this pin, attach this to the head of your jib, and when you're storing it, just put it back here. I can even do that one-handed. And when you tighten it up, when you tighten down here with that nice shock block, then this stays nice and tight right up here, and your lines all stay nice and straight. I've left this up even in thunderstorms, and it's stayed nice and tight, so I really like that piece. Okay, I've saved the best for last. This is absolutely an essential piece. This is the Loos professional tension gauge, model PT1M. It's metric, and you absolutely have to buy this because it's going to save you thousands of dollars of repairs. This system under here of the tension rig is crucial to maintaining the structural stability of this very light boat. It's ingenious, but it does require that you have at least 17, a reading of 17 on this gauge, and that's low. 20 is the recommended minimum even for light wind, and 25 is the recommended tension in heavy wind. I have it at 23 right now. I don't go through and change it every time I sail, but if I did, I'd recommend this turnbuckle that I have right here. This guy, you can just tighten this up, and that will of course increase the tension on the loose gauge. You might consider tying this. You could tie this loop here, a rope, to yourself if you were somehow, if you dropped it and you're in a situation where you were worried you would lose it, because this, I think this thing is over maybe $100. I can't remember how much this tension gauge costs, but it's well worth it. I'm just in a lake here, so I'm not worried about that. I want to point out something to you that I didn't understand. Kudos to Martin Langhoff for explaining this to me. I thought that the tension we needed to measure at 20-25 initially was here, but that is not correct. This is going to be higher. Let's check this out. I'll show you how this thing works. Get it here. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. I'm not doing it right. Ah. Goes like this. This is probably going to be really ugly to watch. I apologize for how herky-jerky it is. Let's pull this up like that. And now you can see what the tension is here. It's 33. So it was 23 on these two. Then it goes in through here, 33. So I hope that's helpful. Very important gauge. Save the best for last. Take care. Thanks for watching.